welcome back to our TV/sitcoms, just TV shows in general discussion. This is the third one we've done.
Yeah.
And we're going to pick a comedy one, and we're going to pick an animated comedy one this time.
Yeah, switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. So you want to kick it off? Pick your non-animated one first.
All right, I'm going to go with one of the most legendary comedy shows in history, I think, anyway. Three's Company.
Three's Company, man. Come and knock on my door.
Yeah, we'll be waiting for you.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't think you'd go that far with it. Got it. I've only watched maybe a dozen episodes, but I did enjoy it, and I've always been a John
Ritter. Yeah, he, you know, because it was him, the original cast.
Yeah.
It was him, Suzanne Summers, and I forgot her name. The brunette.
Dude, you lost me.
And then of course, you know, that changed twice. Suzanne Summers left, and then you had, I think it was her cousin coming in or something, and then like a friend of theirs or something. So it rotated out twice.
Yeah.
You know, it just I've seen, I don't know how many episodes I've seen. I've seen a bunch of them though, and it was just, even when I was a kid, I loved John Ritter. I love the rest of the cast. And it was always in the joke, the legendary joke nowadays is, you know, that Three's Company episode, the one where there's a misunderstanding.
Yeah. Because
someone's always listening at the door,
yes,
and they overhear something, they misunderstand, and it's a big deal. You had Don Knotts as Mr. Furley, and then you had Mr. Roper and his wife. He was my personal favorite. You get that sneer on his face. Whenever his wife would say something, he'd be like, he'd go like that, you know. Yeah, I loved it. I grew up watching this kid because it came out, I don't know the years, but it was mid-70s, late 70s, I think.
One of my favorite things about it is that when John Ritter did Stay Tuned, a little cameo where he showed up on the set and they opened the door. Where have you been? And he starts screaming. But the episodes that I watched, you know, the misunderstanding and stuff, it seemed like a great, light-witted, humorous show. And it's just one of those that's just kind of fell between the cracks that I haven't really watched.
It wasn't his show. I mean, it was an ensemble thing, to be sure. Everyone played their part, even the guy, and I don't remember this actress. I'm less, you know, versed with actors and actresses on television than I am in film. So the guy ran the Regal Beagle, where John Ritter, Jack Tripper, and his buddy, I forgot his buddy's name now, but they would always hang out at the Regal Beagle. And that alone, you know, came up with a lot of circumstances, you know, set things up. And it just really, it defined, I think, that period of television. Great show, great talent involved. John Ritter, of course, sticks out to me the most, but it showcased a man's talent who left us way too soon. Way too soon.
Yes. It's sad what happened to him, but no, it's a good choice. I really need to sit down and visit it and give it my full attention. I'm going to bring up one that came out in the mid to late 80s and went on to the mid 90s. Cheers.
Oh, Cheers, yeah.
Ted Danson.
Yeah, Ted Danson.
Yes. I think what I read that it originally was a guy who used to be a boxer. Then he kind of co-bought a bar, and it was Ted Danson. Says, why don't we change it to like a baseball player? And I think it was great. And I remember I seen it a lot as a kid. I don't remember everything about it. I do remember there was a point I think he ran into financial trouble, where Kirstie Alley had come in for Shelley Long and kind of co-bought the bar.
Yeah.
You had great supporting cast. I don't know the older man's name. He was Coach.
I remember him.
He passed away, so they had to replace him with Woody Harrelson, which, to me, nothing against what Coach brought, and it would have been great if we never lost him, but Woody Harrelson was great playing the dumb bartender.
Yeah.
You know, the light-witted, all that stuff. And then, of course, you had Danny DeVito's wife who played a waitress.
Oh, that's right. She was really abrasive.
Oh, tough as nails.
Yeah.
Norm.
John Ratzenberger.
I love that. Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah. Who was the other guy?
Cliff. He was the mailman.
Oh, okay. Cliff was John Ratzenberger. And then Norm was George Wendt, I think.
Okay. But Cliff was actually, from what I understand too, was only supposed to be like a few episodes.
Really?
But he had come up with this idea. What if I was this know-it-all kind of guy?
Yeah.
And it fit in so well that he was there for the whole series, which is great because you had those staple people.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a Cheers board game, and I played it a few times with my parents. I couldn't tell you how you played it or what it was about, but I remember that being fun too.
I
and
didn't
then,
know that.
of course, the great Kelsey Grammer as Frasier. I don't think he showed up till like season 2 or 3. And he was in it for the duration, and then a spinoff, which I would love to bring up in another one.
Frasier Crane,
man. He was great too. Just a cast sitting around a bar, hanging out. Obviously, you have stuff going on in their personal lives, but the main thing is a group of people, the camaraderie at a bar, just hanging out. It just seemed great. I always,
They had like a lot of episodes or shows in the 80s with episodes revolving around a very serious. I'm sure there were serious topics involved too.
Oh yeah.
And if I remember, I'd like a lot of shows, big shows back then. They had a lot of guest stars people you would see later on. I don't remember who. I didn't watch it as much as you.
I really want to watch it from beginning to end, and I believe I can because I think it's on Amazon Prime. And I want to, but from what I remember, I just remember there was just great. And then, of course, you have those things that tugs on your heart a little bit. And from what I understand, it could have went on forever. They offered Ted Danson an obscene amount of money. I think the same thing Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah. But they felt like it was time to walk away. And I think they said, well, Woody, you can keep going with the show. And he said, if Ted Danson's not doing it, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And that's so they respectfully ended the show. And I remember the ending of the show was great. You know, it started with Ted Danson coming out of the game room. It ended with him going in the game room, and he straightens up a picture of the coach. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was great. But yeah, Cheers was great. And you know, if you haven't, check it out. I plan on doing the same.
That's another one. Cheers, like Three's Company. It sort of defined that decade, man.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And so now we're gonna bring up an animated one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be fun. Who's you bringing up?
I'm gonna go with Bevis and Butthead.
Oh man, now you're talking.
Yeah,
I think you stole it from me.
I grew up watching this show. It was, well, I don't want to bring up the name of the other series because we might bring that up later. But it sort of it followed another show, animated show that was sort of a little more mature, and in fact, Beavis and Butthead was so at the time, hard hitting, groundbreaking.
It upset a lot of people.
It did. Yeah.
You know, and my argument with that is that. And I know it's a different time now, but even back then, it never seemed to me like it was that controversial. Yeah, it was two goofy high schoolers,
right?
You know, but I mean, really, was it that bad? I mean, I thought it was funny, it was groundbreaking, but you know,
it pushed the envelope in a lot of ways.
It was on a cable TV, so you had to pay cable to watch it. It wasn't like it was on a network television.
It was MTV.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was MTV.
So I don't understand why it was taken off the air way too soon. And I loved it. I even liked the movie. I thought the movie was funny. It just, to me, it ended too soon.
Yeah, you had a lot of the other supporting characters. Mr. Buzzcut was the gym teacher.
Yes. Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, the neighbor.
He became Hank Hill later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hippie teacher.
Yeah, he was great.
Oh
man,
it'll be a moving experience. Beavis and Butthead.
He always had good-hearted. He always had a good heart for those guys, even though they blasted him so bad.
But you know, something has to be said about the cuts in between about the music videos.
Oh yeah,
I mean, because some of these bands, even when I was watching, now you probably knew about some of these guys. Some I was watching. Who are these guys?
Yeah, it was great. You know, it just made fun of, you know how much money like bands made from making music videos, or how much money they got to make a video back in the day. That was the big thing. You know, obviously that's what MTV was founded on. So they would spend an obscene amount of money and be like, what the heck is going on? So it kind of made fun of that a little bit. So that was like the icing on the cake for them to. And they do stuff like that. Was that Mystery Science Theater where they kind of make fun of these old movies and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, no, Beavis and Butthead, man. Now I got to think of one. I think he stole it. No, I'm going to bring up one that was on Nickelodeon. I'm not quite sure how many seasons it was on, but I loved it. Still love it to this day. Doug.
Doug, yes,
Doug, man.
Yeah.
Doug was just like, that was my show as a kid. And then I think it was bought by Disney, and it was on ABC for, I think, one season. It was definitely different from the first one. So it was, but I loved them all as a combination. I loved the names. You know, his best friend was named Skeeter Valentine. You had Patty Mayonnaise, the love interest, Roger the bully. It's just great. It was a great, like, young teenager movie, like 13 to 16. It was just perfect. I loved it. I will watch it to this day.
I think it was probably the last good run of good animated shows before they started taking them off.
Yeah, it was back to me the heyday of Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
You know, you had all these great shows, and maybe we can do one of just the Nickelodeon animated shows at one point. But this one was one that really stuck out to me. I loved it. I always looked forward to watching it. And when it was gone, I was like, what? And then I saw it was coming back. I'm like, are you kidding me?
They played it back to back with, I know there was 2 or 3 other animated shows, and that was their run, Nickelodeon's run, and then afternoon time slot, I think.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that growing. I wasn't a big fan of it, but I did see a few episodes of it. And I like the purple guy, too.
Yeah.
The purple guy was cool.
Yeah, that's Skeeter.
That was his best buddy.
Yeah, and then you had his, I forget the neighbor's name, but he was purple, too. He had the glasses.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah.
It was almost like... It was kind of like a variation of, like, it would be another town of The Simpsons, only a little more light-witted for kids kind of thing.
It seemed to me like Doug was almost an animated, semi-quasi-animated version of the Wonder Years, Savage's character.
Yeah, kind of. I always felt the relationship because I felt like, you know, he's not the popular guy.
Right.
You know, there's a woman you love with, even though you don't know what love is at the time, and... You know, you're just trying to survive. You just moved. You know, I had moved from middle school, there in the middle of middle school, to another school. So I just felt a connection to the character. And so I just loved it. Yeah, Doug.
Okay.
Wow. So, yeah, we're trucking along with this. Let us know what you think as far as, you know, these 4 that we come up with. You know, if any ideas you want us to discuss, we'll gladly do that. Just want to give a shout out. We have started a Twitch account where we live stream, talk about different things. Should join us on there. Sometimes we usually try to stream on Fridays if we can, talking about just different things in general. So trying to branch out and do different things, but keep joining us here on the Sitcoms, and if there's any you'd like us to bring up, let us know.
So we get on Twitch and we talk about, like, if we were constipated that week?
I guess if you wanted to.
Okay.
All right. That's a heck of a way to end the video.